All right, everybody, welcome back to our podcast. We appreciate you jumping on with us. This is our training day podcast. I got my man Josh Mwanza, who's a flat out stud in our business, has been around, seen things, has made moves, changes, shifted, and growth in all areas, understands our business. So it's exciting to get you on this podcast, my man. How are you today?
Doing pretty good. And thanks for having me on the program. It's just a little bit hot in Massachusetts today, but we'll survive.
No doubt. Yeah, I mean, it's hot all over the globe right now. You know,
Yeah, absolutely.
I was in Texas a week ago. It's hot here in Jersey, so it's 90 something degrees. But Texas 100 something degrees. I was in Vegas for a few seconds. It was 110.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's July.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely.
So thank you for jumping on with me, Josh. I wanted to kind of at least start with a backdrop for our guests that may not know you as well. If you could give us a little backdrop of what you did prior to this, what your journey's been like, and how you actually found Family First. That'd be great.
So, actually, before finding FFL, I was part of the whole team in the practice company.
Okay.
I was actually under Sean Mike's agency,
Okay.
direct to one of his downlines, yes.
Okay, got it. Well, they have New England on Smash, so that makes sense to me.
Yeah, and so, but I think when I started, I think that must have been 2012, around about November when I got my license.
Okay.
And then
So
in the few months, those were really tough days, and I was newly married, and my wife was like, "Boy, we need to pay some bills around here."
mm-hmm.
So we decided that I go back to school to get my MBA. So I went back to school to get my MBA. I was there for about a year and a half. In between, I would do a policy here and there, but nothing major. And then when I got out, the guy that had recruited me, they had left the practice company to go to another company, which is now also an integrity partner company. And so he called me up. I hadn't spoken to him maybe a year and a half. So it was like, "Hey, we moved to this new company. Would you want to come?" And I'm like, "Well, let me check my license if it's still active." So we went there. And like within 9 months, the guy that took us there decides to go start his own little thing. And I'm like, "Guys, we haven't even settled down yet. Like, what are we doing?" So I kind of stayed there trying to figure out what to do. During that period, I think FFL was just getting started at the time. So I got wind of everything that was going on, and FFL was just born. And I linked up with another guy within a different IMO, reached out to him, started with him part-time, and then I reached out to your buddy Bryant because he was my upline in the practice company.
Huh.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So I reached out to him, and so he told me everything, and I'm like, "All right, no big deal." I think at the time we only had America, if I recall very well. We've come a long way.
The early days, yes, sir.
Yeah, so I was kind of doing two companies at one time until around about maybe 2018, 19, when I decided that I wanted to build an agency and I wanted to concentrate on one IMO. And at that time, really, FFL had really gained momentum.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's kind of and then before that I did work, I did everything. I ran a couple of group homes in Maine and Massachusetts. I also did Uber part-time and yeah. But I think my biggest aha moment was when I was doing Uber and another delivery company overnight. Like I worked during the night from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. I made $150. And I had an insurance appointment at 10 a.m. the next morning, and I was so tired I could hardly open my eyes. But still, I gotta make it to this appointment. So I went there. Within half an hour, I made $2,000.
Wow.
That was it. I was like, regardless of how bad I can be, I only have to write one policy to replace my 1 month. So for me, that was the aha moment of what was possible.
That's huge. So that made all the difference in the world for you, as far as what taking this seriously could actually look like. Yes.
Absolutely. Yep.
No doubt. So, obviously you have done amazing things with your own pen from a sales standpoint.
Yep.
Talk to us a little bit about the stuff you had to start telling yourself
Hmm.
as you was, looking to ramp up and make this a full-time job. What are the things that you did to get yourself in position to become an elite producer?
That's a great question. So when I look back, and I think this is what I try to do a lot with the new agents as I'm recruiting. As you know, right now I'm really doing a lot of rearrangement within my agency.
Mm.
But back then, I didn't want to be held accountable, so I never really reached out to my uplines or anything. I was never on any trainings, so it showed in my production. I could protect 10 families here and there, nothing major, right? But then literally maybe like 5 years into the business is like, you know what? I see all these people doing big stuff. I don't have to change anything. I just have to copy what they're doing,
Right.
you know? And so I started looking at, what the schedule looks like, what that lead flow looks like. And at that time, I had been doing leads here and there, nothing consistent. Then I decided that that year, I think must have been 2019 or 18, somewhere there. I decided, you know what, I'm gonna give it a shot, like put in as much money as I can into the leads. And for me, that was the aha moment for me again, just to know, okay, it's a numbers game, as you know. Um, you put in so much. These are the expectations, and regardless of what, and I know you've heard this a lot of time, the magic lead, which doesn't exist.
A magic lead.
I always tell them the magic lead is in your head.
It is.
So that's kind of where I started, and then over the years I've also done a lot of events. I'm pretty well connected within the church community over here. So I also get invited to speak like a lot of women's conferences, to do like little workshops for them here and there, and associations and just people that I know, that I combine a lot of things to do business.
Makes a lot of sense. When you start thinking about obviously building and now taking this, you're not just talking to yourself anymore. Now you're talking to other people
Mm-hmm.
about mindset and the things that they need to focus on. Before we get into that, from a recruiting standpoint, what are some things that you do regularly to bring in new people and show them our opportunity?
So before I just talked to every Jim and Jack, and I'd spend hours trying to chase them and all, but now I'm become very strategic. Like, within 5 minutes, if I talk to somebody, I should be able to gauge their interest and the level of seriousness. Right. And but I'll reach out now. I'm doing a lot more reaching out within the warm market, which was not one of my strengths
Mm.
before, So like I'll reach out to, for example, I have friends who are into the tax world, bookkeeping and stuff. They have a lot of people that goes to the offices trying to get business, whether insurance agents or not. I'll just call them. Maybe I go to an office. I find their business cards. I say, who is this person? Can you set up an appointment with me?
Mm.
I'll do things like that, and they know what I do now. So they'll say, hey, Josh, there's this person. I think they'll be good to work with you. All kinds of things, but I'm really going like really really hard on the warm market, and then also when I recruit somebody now, I try to find out who within their network might be a good fit for opportunity. So I'll talk to them about starting building immediately. And of course, everybody resists. So I want to become good. I think you've heard that 1 million times before. I was just talking to another agent in California yesterday, actually. I want to build massive big, but first I want to get good. And I'm like, yeah, we all said that before. Um, but for those who want, I'll talk to them immediately, and the importance of trying to start building immediately, because once you start building, if you bring in somebody, of course, it puts the pressure on you to be able to produce, to show them what's possible. So I'll do my own warm market, and I'll reach out to my downlines warm market.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it. So you said you were not really in the war market at first, or you were adverse to it. What was holding you back? This is very important. Because now you're talking about it like this is the way to go. What was your
Yes.
what made you reluctant then?
First of all, I'm an introvert. I think I am. So I just used to find it weird to speak to people, and but again, when you Mark, you having done this thing for a long time, people just don't know what they don't know. But you don't know they're looking for the next thing. They might be making that kind of money, but they're not happy and they're looking for something that is more flexible that might work for them, right? And so I don't judge anymore as to because they're in this career or maybe they're that. So I would just talk to anybody,
Mm.
just talk to anybody. And for me, what I'm leveraging now is my network, including my accountant. I just recruited my accountant's daughter-in-law.
Mm.
She just went through contracting right now.
Wow.
And I know the amount of volume that's going to be with them because him and I have been working together, like me trying to do business through his practice.
Mm.
Now I'm bringing on his daughter-in-law. I'm like, dude, your grandkids needs to eat. So yeah, so I do things like that, and I one day just sat down and I'm like, who do I know here? And you know, also leveraging my church community. I have pretty good connection with pastors around here, and I just reached out to them. I reached out to them. So right now I'm in the process of talking to a guy who lives about an hour from where I live. He has a lot of influence. He does a lot of education stuff within the community, and trying to see if I can work with them on having people look at the FFL opportunity. And I know it's something that he would definitely be open to. So things like that.
So it just sounds like you have a much more fearless approach to it now. You know,
Mm-hmm.
was there a fear before or an uncomfortability that kind of overtook you, or were you just working on different
I
forms of?
think it's I think it's both fear and just being uncomfortable. And I'm like, especially like, the people that I know, I was never ever comfortable in talking to them. Right. I was never comfortable. So right now I know that, people are always looking for to supplement to whatever even if they're making money, they're always looking to supplement. I was talking to one of the agents yesterday. She's like, I just want to add another 5, 10 grand to my monthly. And she has other people that are looking to do the same thing. So what I do now is just talk to them, get somebody on the Zoom, and I have a couple of people on the team now as I'm rearranging my agency that are also into that, especially in Florida. I have one guy who's a massive recruiter, like massive recruiter. The first time he came to our agency, I don't know, 4 years ago, I think there was one time in a month he recruited like 50 people, right? And then he went under due to certain things that
Nice.
happened. But now he's back and he's back with vengeance.
Ooh.
He's working on something massive that I'm super excited.
I love the sound of that. There's nothing like a swarm of
Yeah,
fresh new blood.
yeah. And then also like I talk to him like 3, 4 times a day. He's also recruited another guy who sells mattresses in Florida, who's already recruited people before he even gets his own license. Like he's already put people in license
Bro, why do you think that is, bro?
I think it's just a belief system.
Yep.
Now, I believe in going down that direction. This guy in Florida believes that. And I have another guy in Maryland who also believes in that. He's also doing something like that. And then just finding the people who also believe in the same. And that is why I'm so excited about this second half of the year. I think after, chopping off some leaves and,
Yeah.
get back into the right system, it's gonna be, I think, the best 6 months we've
Think
ever had.
think about this. You say, I think it's just a belief system. Well, the truth is,
Yep.
it is a belief system. But guess who's sparking? Guess who's pouring from the top, from the sprout? the belief?
Mm-hmm.
Take a guess. Take a guess, my friend.
What need?
No, you. You're so funny. That was a nice. That was actually really. I was not prepared for that. You. So at the end of the day, you are pouring this belief out.
Mm-hmm.
There was a point in your career, intentionally or unintentionally, you were not pouring that belief out.
No,
Right.
I wasn't.
Right.
I was, yeah. And I think I had become comfortable because we had grown. There's a time between January 2020 and early 2021. We grew rapidly, like
Mm,
so rapid. And I think I became comfortable once we got to a certain stage. And, I stopped doing the things that made us grow.
mm.
And so I had to hit a reset and said, I need to go back to the basics myself.
It's huge. It's nothing like a true self-reflection
Mm-hmm.
where you come out, where the pain of the reflection takes you to a place of cleansing,
Mm-hmm.
right? Where you really have to battle, and
Yeah.
and you have to battle with some bad habits, tendencies,
Right.
good tendencies that might not be taking you anywhere, good things that might not be on the radar of your goal, but you have to wrestle with these things and things
Right.
in locations where you put them. You might have put them higher on the pendulum than they should have gone, or you know what I'm saying, and you have to
Right.
rearrange that. But then when you come out rearranged, it's refreshed, and it's like you have clear vision. It sounds to me, my man, like the vision is very clear. Would that be a fair
Oh,
statement?
absolutely. Absolutely. Like, I don't need to go see an eye doctor. Like, it's very clear. It's very clear. And I think, once you have that clarity in vision, and then now you begin to look for people with the same, who want to ride along that vision with you, and I think this is where it's exciting for me right now with everything that's going on. Especially, like I said, I'm super excited about Florida and Maryland and potentially Texas, So it's just good people that understand what we have to do, and are they're ready to go to battle together.
That's fantastic, man. And I am excited for you. I'm excited about this same 6 months, the same second half for you,
Mm-hmm.
watching what's about to take place, knowing what you got going on in these different parts of the country, and just knowing like how reinvigorated you are to kind of get this thing into orbit and keep it
Mm-hmm.
in orbit. You know,
Absolutely.
now there's a lot to learn from the cleansing and the things that you have seen, right? Growing the business to 500 families a month, and then having to, you know, have this realization that, hey man, I'm all set.
Mm-hmm.
Look at what I've done. Look at what I've built. It's like the dude in the Bible who says, you know, look at what I've built. We can. I'm gonna build barns and bigger barns. And I'm gonna store. I'm gonna eat, drink, and be merry. You know what I mean? Like I'm
Yeah.
good. Like
Yeah.
you know, what did you learn from that time? And I'm not saying you're exactly that guy. It's a little bit of a tongue-in-cheek joke, but you get it. What did you
Yeah.
learn from that time to now of like, okay, we were growing rapidly, we did grow rapidly, and rapid growth doesn't always mean set it and forget it.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think that was one of the biggest things that I learned, was not being comfortable regardless of where you are in the business, right? Not being comfortable. And you just keep pushing. And the secret is always making sure you're bringing in new blood,
Mm.
right? And that is why now it's like top priority. Like there's always got to be new blood.
Love it.
So that is why every time I'm talking to these new agents, especially the ones who are beginning to build their own agencies, whenever they have new people, I'm always jumping on calls with them, Some of them are new to FFL. They might not know the entire like contracting process. I'll sit down. I'll take time to show them. I'll go do the entire contracting process with them as they watch, and then so that they can, be able to do that for the other agents if they don't have an admin, and not being the admin for everybody, because I became an admin for. And they're like, oh, this one would call you. Oh, there's an agent, new agent. Can you jump on it? Can you help? Oh, sure. Got all the time in the world. And I'm like, no, it's making sure I delegate some of those things to other folks, until they get their own admins. Like for me, I can put someone through contract in a very short period of time. It's gonna take them a gazillion of hours, So yeah. But delegating is another thing that, you know, I think I learned over the last couple of years, because I did a lot for my downlines, and when I look back, I think some of them took advantage. So now I'm kind of not doing that. It's just okay. I'm going to show you one or two times, and after that, that's your baby.
No doubt. You know what though? You've been through so many different seasons in this business. You don't forgot more than most people know. So
Yeah.
whatever you're feeling now, whatever the revelation you're having now, these revelations are built to last.
Right.
You know, when you have these aha moments after doing something for years,
Right.
those aha moments are like you remember the you are now cherry picking the best fruit from every part of the tree. And you know it's the best fruit from the best branches because you've eaten from every single branch. And now you're like, nah, that fruit's the good fruit. Not this, hey man, you are now an inspector of fruit. And you are able to look and go, nope, not that one. Nope, not that one. That one. And you're now, but this is very good.
I like the way you put it.
But this is good. This is good. I've had many moments like this in my career where I'm like, no, I'm not. That sounds good, but I'm not doing that. Like, not me. Now, 5 years ago, it might have sounded. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. I like that. I'm doing that. And you learn like, that's not what I'm doing. That's not what I do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not wearing someone else's outfit.
It's funny that, man, the last 2 years I took so many calls, whether it was 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning. When I look back and I'm like, what were you doing? So, but you get to learn though. That's the most important thing. And now, especially now that I look at the caliber of people that I'm talking to, it's different. It's very, very different.
Yeah. It's because of your evolution, man, and what you've seen through the years and how you've course corrected, the best of the times and the not so great times, and now you're putting together your best version. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Credit to your research process of you.
Yeah.
You feel me?
And I'm excited about the journey.
Amen, brother. Well, I appreciate you jumping on with me. If you could talk to a new agent right now and tell him or her something that's going to help them make it through, what would it be?
The first thing is, once you get started, make sure you're plugged into the FFL system. Just drink the Kool-Aid. Make sure you reach out to your upline, like bug them as much, especially the first 90 days. Those are very critical. Make sure you reach out to your uplines. Make sure you're on all the training calls, because people will come and they'll jump on a couple of calls and they think they know everything. So make sure you're in all the trainings, TNLs, all the podcasts. Make sure you consume all that stuff. And the magic lead does not exist, just so you know.
Don't have fake yourself.
Every lead is a lead. It's just how you work it.
No doubt about it, man. Well, again, I'm really excited for you. I'm like overjoyed inside listening to you, knowing what's I know what's coming. So I appreciate you spending time investing with us on this podcast. A lot of people are going to learn from this, man. So thanks, Josh. Appreciate you, brother.
Thanks for having me, and I'm looking forward to you know, the growth and your mentorship. And you'll be hearing the next 6 months. You'll be hearing a lot from me.
Let's get it. Training day, y'all. Keep listening, keep learning, keep growing.